if you're going to pick an energy storage mechanism, hydrogen is an incredibly dumb one to pick. You should just pick methane. That's much, much easier, or propane. So if you compared, if you say took a solar panel and used the energy from that solar panel to just charge a battery pack directly, compared to try to split water, so why would you do that? It makes no sense. And then hydrogen has very low density. It's a pernicious molecule, likes to get all over the place.
Forget everything you know about EVs because Honda's hydrogen CR-V just changed the script. It promises a driving range of 400 miles, refuels in just 5 minutes, and doesn't depend on massive charging stations. Coming up, we'll explain how Honda plans to make Elon Musk rethink his whole battery empire. Has Honda at last figured out a means to trick Tesla? We ought to investigate this. Regarding game-changing advances, Honda finds all of this old hat.
So you have to get that hydrogen from somewhere. If you get that hydrogen from water, so you're splitting H2O, the electrolysis is extremely inefficient as an energy process. Compress the hydrogen to an extremely high pressure or liquefy it, and then put it in a car and run a fuel cell. It is about half the efficiency. It's terrible. You get metal embrittlement from hydrogen. If you get a hydrogen leak, it's an invisible gas. You can't even tell that it's leaking. But then it's extremely flammable when it does and has an invisible flame.
Since the 1970s, this has been going on rather steadily. That engine was the CVCC1, right? Though I know it's most likely not. Believe me when I say it was really significant back then. It complied, even without a catalytic converter, with US pollution guidelines. Going on sale in 1999, Insight was Honda's first hybrid. The Prius dominated the show at the time. And then there's VTEC, which tech-savvy people still brag about. No, this company has been developing plans like a chess master for decades. It is not a latecomer. Their hydrogen effort is thus not a random chance. Hydrogen fuel cell, the best case hydrogen fuel cell doesn't win against the current case batteries. So then obviously it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, for us, trade-ins are relatively, these trade-ins of Model S's are relatively low because they've only been in production for a little over 2 years. That will become apparent in the next few years. There's no reason for us to have this debate. I've said, my piece on this. It will be super obvious as time goes by. But rather their next major strategic move. To be honest though, hydrogen hasn't exactly been a success story, especially for Honda. Recall the Clarity driven on hydrogen? Not so sure. Most likely since few people behind the wheel. Its flop had more drama than that of a fish about to sink. Though the car had a sleek look, its supporting infrastructure was somewhat poor. Not in a slightest sense. Not even have adoption rates been discussed. Hydrogen-powered vehicles were simply the scientific fair submissions from the automotive sector, regardless of their theoretical appeal, before electric vehicles like Tesla's arrived and took the stage. Hydrogen was almost left behind. Now run on hydrogen. The CR-V SUV is transforming the market. Unlike the Clarity, they are not trying to carve off a fresh market niche. Because of its durability, simplicity, and lots of cargo space, which can hold a Costco load, the CR-V has fast become a favorite among consumers. Their most recent fuel cell gadget is smaller and more efficient. They developed it working with General Motors. What follows? This SUV surpasses its predecessor rather noticeably. Out of one tank, you can cover around 400 miles with just 5 minutes to fill up, when compared to the 30 minutes an electric vehicle takes to charge to 80% at a rapid charger. The concept of hydrogen appears intriguing, not to add that a lot of lithium will have to be mined, or that the electrical system won't be overloaded. Oh, that sounds quite appetizing. Still, I wonder whether anyone will really believe it. Though electric cars are becoming more and more popular, hydrogen infrastructure is still in development. On the other hand, Honda excels in future planning. More than just a vehicle, this CR-V is a wager on the comeback of hydrogen. The covert entrance of hydrogen into society via a Trojan horse. Regardless of the result, this is most definitely not a research experiment nowadays. Basically, Honda is saying, we're still in the innovation game regarding this. If we're talking about games, what does this indicate for Tesla, the present king? Now we can start. Elon Musk calls hydrogen fuel cells fool cells. But will his position change in reaction to Honda's most recent action? For some time, Tesla and more traditional producers have been engaged in a conflict. Not only dominates, but also under control by Tesla the market for electric cars. With its simplified looks, autopilot features, and cult-like fan base that purchases everything from expensive vehicles to tequila shaped like a lightning bolt, Tesla set the trends while rivals like General Motors and Ford were frantically catching up. Conversely, Honda looks to be headed in quite another way, which calls question on Elon's preferred hydrogen protections. We shall first review the numbers. Recharging the hydrogen-powered Honda CR-V spans about 400 miles and takes just 5 minutes. Conversely, utilizing a slower home charger takes much more time. Using a supercharger helps you to gain an additional 200 miles on a Tesla Model Y. Furthermore, waiting 5 minutes seems better than sitting in your car and staring at memes while the battery charges at the local station, especially if all of the chargers are full. Other factors than simplicity of usage come into play. States currently experiencing rolling blackouts, like California, could find grid strain from large-scale EV charging, suggesting they are trying to control more than they can. Governments all across are possibly funding hydrogen infrastructure development, entirely sidesteps that issue. Japan has made hydrogen a national priority. Germany is creating what appears to be a science fiction highway network of hydrogen, and the US is joining in as well as part of its clean energy objectives. Remember that even if Tesla is heavily investing in its supercharger network and battery advancements, lithium mining remains a huge issue. Some have expressed worries on the environmental effects of EV battery manufacture, and disposal of these batteries isn't always a picnic. Here, Honda's hydrogen fuel cells could offer an unexpected turn in the narrative. Has hydrogen as a possible third choice been disregarded? Though Tesla is currently the clear leader in the electric vehicle market, Honda's CR-V is doing a great job of playing the underdog. The success of the hydrogen push could make Musk rethink his claim on fuel cells. Cooperation and changes in the market are helping the hydrogen case to become more popular, and rivalry is getting intense. Beyond being just another SUV, Honda's hydrogen-powered CR-V boldly claims that environmental awareness transcends batteries and charging infrastructure. Timing is ideal with governments all around putting billions into hydrogen infrastructure. For example, California's expanding network and Japan's hydrogen society ambition. Forecasts show that by 2030, the hydrogen market would be valued at $20 trillion, therefore confirming its status as a strong competitor rather than a niche area of research. Possibly starting his most difficult project thus far is Elon Musk, as the automobile sector swiftly changes. Hydrogen is becoming more and more popular. Whatever your opinion of hydrogen or electric cars, things will get interesting very soon.